Hey, deserving listeners, Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2 on Netflix in the middle of 2025. I'm in Seattle. You're somewhere else. Let's watch.
Megan brought so much to my life. I haven't spoken to her in 2 weeks. I was like, my God, like what's going on with her? Is she okay? Just couldn't take it anymore. And I call her.
How can you talk to me like this?
Okay, so, they're editing it, but if I were to further the hypotheses that I've put forward, which I have no idea if they're even close to the mark, what we saw, I didn't show it, but Dana met up with Dana's mom, and there really wasn't much to comment on other than that for Dana's mom, she, in the overall conversation that they were having about marriage and the trial marriage and stuff, Dana's mom said that she really liked Megan, which is Dana's original partner. And that would make sense, right? I mean, that would be the way that you would be thinking if you're Dana's mom. It's like, okay, up until this point, I've known you as partnered with Megan, and now all of a sudden I see you with this other person, and they were nice to Mel, but they're still framing the Dana relationship thing as being with Megan. But anyway, so the mother said, I really like Megan, and I think you're really good with Megan. They were basically saying, the family was basically saying that Dana, without Megan, is volatile. They didn't use that word, but it sounded like what they were saying. And Megan mellowed out Dana, which I could see. I mean, not only just because of attachment security that you get in a relationship, but also because Megan will say that she's very accommodating and puts herself in the back burner and does whatever anyone tells her to do. I don't know if I included it, but at some point, Megan said that she's always been pressured. And with Haley in her trial marriage, this is the first time that she doesn't feel that kind of pressure. She has felt pressure from her family and then from Dana. And with Haley, she's more flexible. Now, it's hard to know if Haley is actually flexible. I mean, she could be, but it's also a brand new relationship. So, anyway. To further my hypotheses venture, it's possible that for Dana, when she heard the mom, who there is signs of enmeshment, when the mom expressed basically love for Megan, not that the mom was saying you need to be with Megan and not with Mel, but just that reminder. I think Dana, because of the enmeshment, was motivated to reach out to Megan. So Dana calls Megan on the phone, and they're talking. And I can't tell who is the one talking, but in the subtitles, they're saying that one of them is saying, I can't believe you treated me that way. And I think it's because of the pool, and you can kind of see the pool just over the railing. And I think they're all staying in the same condo building, apartment building, and just randomly ran into each other at the pool. And when Megan saw Dana, her former partner, Dana didn't acknowledge Megan and was awkward. And I was wondering if that was because Dana was thinking, I think we're supposed to follow the rules that we're not supposed to interact with our former partner, and or Dana was really connecting with Mel and had kind of forgotten about Megan to some extent. Who knows? That seems unlikely, honestly. But Megan interpreted it as Mel, or as Dana no longer loves me, doesn't care. And that wouldn't be hard to conclude because of the situation, but it is the format of the show that Dana is supposed to be with someone else. And Megan is standing right next to Haley at the time. Anyway, so because of that, it seemed kind of like Megan considered them to be broken up, considered Dana and Megan to be forever broken up. And then Megan sort of handed herself over or decided to open up to Haley. And now that Dana is calling out of the blue, I think it is Megan who is saying, I can't believe you treated me this way. I think that's what's happening.
Megan, please just tell me. Did you say that?
Oh, so we only hear Dana's side of the conversation, which makes sense because of the camera microphone wouldn't pick up Megan's statements. So, from context, I think Megan is telling Dana, I don't want to be with you anymore, or I can't believe what you did. And Dana is the one saying, I can't believe you're treating me this way. Right? Let's rewind that.
I want to. Megan, please just tell me. Why did you say that? I don't even know who I'm talking to right now.
Yeah. So it sounds like at least Megan is implying, if not full on officially forever breaking up with Dana, or implying that, right? And Dana is sad about it. And Dana is confused, which I understand. If I'm understanding the situation right, which God knows, I understand both sides because I could see Megan interpreting what had happened. And, at the time, Dana was, in the edit anyway, getting really close to Mel and was talking about marriage and kids with Mel. So it wasn't completely a misunderstanding for Megan. But anyway, I mean, but it also could just be a function of Megan realizing that Dana doesn't create space for Megan to have her own wants. Now, that could be a misperception for people who have a hard time asserting themselves and have had a history of being bulldozed. Even when you create space for them to assert themselves, they often don't step forward because they're not used to it. They don't know what to say. They don't trust. So it could be a both person thing.
How could you do this to me? You're treating me like I'm nothing. Who are you? Because you're not the person that I came here with. I thought I was going to marry you.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, I mean, this is sort of a side note, but they're in, I think, Miami. And I was wondering if all of them were from Southern Florida. Some of them, I think, are. In their write-ups, there was mention of someone working in Orlando, right? But but the way they talked, they didn't seem to assume that they were all from the same area. And Dana is saying, I'm going to go back to Michigan. So it sounds like Dana and Megan are from Michigan.
My whole world is upside down right now. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm like, what a person. Anytime you ever say it's funny. I've never been human. Like, you're so bullshit to even say that.
Yeah, from context, I think I have more data to back up my hypothesis about what's going on. That Megan on the other side of the phone is saying, you abandoned me at the pool. And yeah, that's a stretch, right? I could see being hurt by it. I could see having a major question, like, was I just blown off by Dana? But I would also imagine someone would say, well, maybe Dana didn't know what to do because we're all being told we're not supposed to interact. Or maybe Dana felt it'd be rude to just dismiss Mel, and also I don't think Megan reached out to Dana. I think they just sort of looked at each other from across the pool, and then there was this awkward moment. I think Megan was hoping that Dana would pursue, but didn't, and at least that's my interpretation of the way Megan recalled it. So, having said all that, was it an accurate perception? Because Dana had emotionally moved on to Mel at that point. Yeah, it's possible. Anyway. But I think this is potentially evidence that Megan was not happy. Because you'd think if she were happy with Dana, she wouldn't just drop it like a sack of rocks, right? She's dropping this relationship seemingly. But, maybe they'll reconcile. Sometimes that happens. But, I mean, Dana or Megan is free to break up with Dana. But, Megan might be at the beginning of her assertiveness realization of her own agency. And sometimes when people are having emerging agency, emerging assertiveness, they sometimes are a little clunky in their execution of their assertiveness because if Megan really wants to break up with Dana, then that's totally fine. I would just think that a calm, nice enough conversation in person would be the way to go, you know? Instead of, it kind of sounds, who knows, but the way that Dana is talking, and it's edited, but it sounds like Megan is being pretty abrupt about it. But, you know, maybe Dana deserves that. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever fallen apart like that. I don't think I've ever needed anyone like that in my life, and she just didn't care. It's the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life.
What happened? She literally told me to fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Eesh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She said, I do not care about you. I'm done. You go home and do what you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm at the bar. Stop calling me or you're getting blocked.
So we don't know. Dana is claiming that that's what Megan was saying. Obviously, it's probably spun at least a little bit, but based on context, I imagine it's actually kind of close. So yeah, that's pretty harsh.
I'm telling you, Megan has never spoken. I literally do not believe that this is her. Like, no, I can't breathe. I cannot breathe. I'm sick. I'm gonna.
Now, again, this could be a function of Megan having been bulldozed by Dana throughout their entire relationship. And now that Megan has experienced some breathing room and her relationship with Haley, she now sees it in sharp focus. And all of that unexpressed anger is coming out in the way that Megan is breaking up with her. And that if we could see the whole relationship in its entirety, we might say, like, well, it makes sense given the way how repeatedly Dana bulldozed and denied Megan's agency. We saw a little bit of that when Megan wanted to get off the show, wanted to go home, and Dana, in a charitable way to Dana, she was very persuasive and inflexible. To be non-charitable, Dana engaged in a very typical pattern of bulldozing and just defining for Megan how she thought and should behave, you know? So maybe that's an element of this too. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please, seriously, take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.